Well, hello there, everyone. My name is Eggs Benny, and welcome to another episode of 20 Sides of Failure Play Curse of Strahd, episode 25. I am very much looking forward to today. It is going to be very interesting to see where this goes. But while I'm doing a little bit of extra setup and a little bit of things behind the scenes, let us introduce our players. Which side did I start last time? I started with the right, so we'll start with the left, and we'll start with Ness.
Hello everybody, it is your friendly neighborhood Ness here, and I play the Furball Druid, Sonder Elwood, who is very torn morally about this situation, and he is having a very hard time figuring out, quote-unquote, what the best solution is. 'Cause same, honestly.
And then going up and around, we then have our Aasimar Paladin.
Hello. I'm Norrin Nightingale, and I will be playing the Aasimar Paladin, Aurora Rose, who is gonna hopefully get to shine a little bit tonight as a Sunite.
And then, holding their right hand, we have our human cleric.
Hi everybody, I'm English Ray. I play the human cleric Queenie. Feeling like shit, hoping this doesn't go down really badly. Let's try to be positive.
And then back in the tavern, we have our human artificer.
Heyo, I'm Jusky P. I'm playing the one, not the one, the only, oh my gosh, I'm not playing Maxwell. I'm playing Jack, the Artificer, with his left-hand mechanical man, Kim.
And finally, walking their way back to the tavern, we have our elven sorcerer.
Hi guys, name is Mythical and I play Saya Sombra, and last session she was trying to free someone and accidentally killed him, and now she's rolling with regret and currently hates herself for it. Also, side note, I punished all my dice and I changed them over to a new look, so let's see if these dice are nicer to me this time.
Oh, beautiful. So, going for a quick recap, the party had gone to the house of a lady watcher, apparently one of the old blood of the Lackey, one of the original families that had been in the area even before Strahd had arrived. She laid a feast out for them, dinner, entertainment, answering questions, before dropping a large decision in their lap. Lady Watcher is organising a coup. She made it very clear that the party didn't have to help, and that if they left her a letter in the morning saying that they couldn't and they were leaving, she would respect that. But she gave them one task, apparently something simple enough: to kill Izek Strasny, the head of the honor guard for the burgomaster, the mayor of this town. She said that with him gone, the militia would crumble, and the burgomaster would have to come to see sense and submit to this committee of peers that she was the mouthpiece of. Heading back to the tavern, the party started debating their options, and they decided that it was probably a good idea to invite Irina into these discussions, considering she had no idea what was going on or what was going to be happening with her. A couple of introductions made, and introductions, apparently, that's the new way of putting it. And the party split off into multiple groups, with Saya leaving immediately to go to the burgomaster's mansion to see if she can find some more clues, Aurora having a bath before heading out herself, and then Jack, Sonder, and Irina have actually been in the bedroom playing cards, and we will see a little bit of that later on. Saya managed to sneak back into the house through the back door into the kitchen, upstairs, hearing two men argue in the library. Sneaking into this locked closet that she discovered earlier in the day, she found a hung body in the closet. Still there, still handcuffed. But now that she had a little bit more time, they were able to have a discussion. He talked to Saya about being handcuffed there for a couple of days, how his name was Udo. And he had been there because he'd written a protest sign about the last festival. Determined to set Udo free, Saya attacked the manacles that he was attached to the wall with her short sword. And unfortunately, with a bit of a miss-swing, ended up almost decapitating the man instead. Drenched in blood, Saya snuck out of the house and happened to cross Aurora and Queenie, who decided that they were going to go to the Burgomaster's mansion to see if they could talk to Strahd. And all they see is Saya walking away, covered in blood. And that is where we ended last week's session. Love. Alright then, so Aurora and Queenie. You've just seen Saya, paler than usual, cloak soaked in blood, coming away from the Burgomaster's mansion.
I thought we checked on her and asked her questions last time, and she didn't want to talk.
Nope.
So we just told her that the rest are playing cards in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she walked straight past you, said she didn't want to talk, and went straight back to the inn. Didn't give you any peace of mind today.
Mm-hmm.
Hope all is well. That was a lot of blood.
She seemed more emotionally hurt than physically hurt? We'll look into that later.
Gonna give a very worried look towards Saya and then back towards the house. Just like, what are we walking into potentially?
Can I make a perception check to see if everything sounds okay in there, or if it sounds like there's chaos and a fight and stuff?
Well, right now you're outside, so you're more than welcome to make a perception check, but a lot of things will be muffled by the outside wall.
I feel like if you were gonna hear yelling and arguing and screaming, that would be like higher and more severe kind of thing. But I'll give it a perception. That's a 22.
Yes, from the outside, not having stepped through the front door yet, you don't hear any kind of loud yelling. You don't hear any banging and smashing.
Sounds calm.
Just lifts her hand to knock on the door. Just, if anyone asks, we're traveling soon next.
Yep.
Just making sure we're on the same page. And she knocks on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a couple of moments where no one responds to you immediately, but eventually a door is opened and someone in a maid outfit just peeks around the door, obviously not expecting to see you on the other side of it.
She will basically, she'll give the girl, or she'll give the maid, a really, as charming and, happy of a smile as she can. Just Good evening. My apologies for the late hour. My friend and I were new in town and were impressed by the captain of the guard when we saw him going on his rounds. We were told he lived here and we're hoping maybe he would share a drink with us tonight. And she kind of just holds up the wine.
The girl actually gives you a bit of a wide-eyed look as soon as you say the word impressed. And that wide-eyed look kind of stays as you keep talking. But when you come to a stop, she seems to still be waiting, almost like she's waiting for the punchline of the joke, or the other shoe to drop. And when it doesn't happen, she kind of stammers a little bit, like blinking her eyes, just I can always ask if he is willing or wanting for an audience and company, but I cannot promise that he will agree to it. He's been very stressed with the festival being tomorrow. I don't think he will want to be disturbed.
She perks her head, like, as innocently as possible, just, well, in my experience and our experience, nothing's better to relieve stress than a good drink and some pleasant company.
Yeah, she looks at the two of you and goes, well, at the very least you can come in. I don't expect you to wait on the front steps. And she opens the door a little bit further so that you can actually slip into the foyer.
Okay, yes, she steps in.
Thank you.
Mr. Strahd, he's upstairs. I will see if he's wanting anyone. And like gives you a quick curtsy.
She smiles and returns it. Thank you very much.
Also curtsy.
Okay. She runs upstairs. You can hear her moving across like the landing above you. And there's a little bit of a knock on the door. I will say actually, Queenie, with your passive perception.
Mm-hmm.
After the very obvious like knock on the door, Aurora, you lose the train. You're just kind of stood there waiting to see what will happen. Queenie, however,
Okay.
you can hear there's a little bit of a stumble, there's a bit of a thud. You can hear a door being opened.
Okay, so stumbling around and then like thuds. Okay.
There's at least a door has been opened somewhere. Because you can hear the creaking of the hinges and like there's a little bit of you know when wood swells when it's
Yeah.
moist and it's kind of like stuck in the door frame. You hear a little bit of that pushing of like, oh, someone's had to force a door open.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll just a general d20. That maid was not very persuasive. You both hear a door slamming. And then the maid, after a little bit, comes scurrying down again. And she definitely looks pale, a little bit stunned. And she just looks up to you both and goes, I'm very sorry, but Mr. Strasny is not welcome for guests at the moment. He does not wish for company.
Oh, that's regrettable. We very much would have enjoyed an evening with him. Oh gosh, out of here. Uh, uh, is there's no chance at all we might be able to meet him?
Not tonight. He made it very clear that he is not wishing for guests tonight.
Okay.
There is always the potential that after the festival and after he has had the time to de-stress, he may be very willing to have company. But no, he made it very clear and told me to tell you that he would not be seeing anyone.
Okay.
If you would be so kind as to give him the wine, then it would be a shame for a gift to be left ungiven.
Oh, of course. I will make sure that... actually, one better. I will give this to the burgomaster, and he can give it to Strasny, because he's more likely to accept the gift that way.
Thank you. He would be willing to see us if we go with the burgomaster, would he?
Oh, no. He has made it very clear he does not want any guests or interactions tonight. Even if you went with the burgomaster, you would be told to leave. He's made that very clear.
All right, then she's gonna just hold out the wine to the girl. I apologize for the intrusion, then.
Oh, no apologies. The burgomaster has made it clear that anyone is welcome for an inquiry. His door is always open.
Are you okay though, dear?
Oh, me?
You seem very pale.
Oh, I'm fine.
Like, genuine concern on her face.
Oh, no, I promise I am. I'm fine. It's just been a very, very busy day.
Oh.
Can I? Inside that?
Yeah?
Oh, that was so close to a 13. 11.
Yeah, as far as you're aware. She's just a little rushed off her feet.
Is there anything we can do to help you?
Oh, not now. Everything has been prepared throughout the day. It's just a case of bringing things out in the morning. I promise you, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, we'll let you get back to your duties. Thank you very much.
Oh, and thank you for the gifts. I am sure Mr. Strasny will appreciate it. Later.
Do you know what time he usually goes on his rounds? Maybe we can catch him after he leaves?
Because it is a festival day, he will probably be waking to leave early. So, you'll probably find him walking around the town at dawn.
Thank you very much. I will endeavor to be up before the dawn then.
If you're looking for a place in particular, I would head to the town square. That's where a lot of the setup is being done.
Thank you. be sure to find my way there. She'll give the girl another curtsy and kind of start backing out unless Queenie has anything
Nope.
else to add.
I take your lead. I curtsy. Bitch knows when to bounce.
And the maid sees you out at the very least. She closes the door behind you, but before you leave, she does give you like a parting wave just to say goodbye.
Wave back.
She'll wave back, give her a smile.
The wine has been delivered.
As soon as that maid shuts the door, we've turned around to walk back to the tavern. Facade drops. Okay, so that was not a total bust.
It wasn't as informative as I was hoping, but at least we know where and when to find him in the morning.
Yeah.
No matter which way this goes.
Issue is if he's getting up before dawn. We probably don't want to also be up at that time.
No. Either way, if we intend to help him, then being up that early to warn him would be a good thing. Or if we're...
Or a good time to kill him.
Exactly.
It's pronounced Suni, right?
Yes.
Oh, want to turn Suni, give us strength.
Plan to ask her for help tonight.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, let's go back to the tavern and pray that Jack hasn't destroyed my cards.
Or that Azazel hasn't killed everyone yet.
I don't know which is worse. And we make our way back to the inn.
Yep.
So, just so the time has been filled, because creating things, I believe I said last session, that all the discussions, Aurora having a bath, that came to about an hour. So that leaves Sonda and Jack with an hour of, I believe you said that you were playing cards with Irina.
Yes.
But that gives you an hour of, if there is anything particular you would like to do other than playing cards with Irina.
Definitely be, at least Sonder would be getting to know her a bit better. Just like, you know, oh, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite season? What's your favorite food? You know, like random questions just to get to know her as a person.
She would chuckle before she answered every single one, and it gets to a point where the more questions you ask, the more she talks. Like, at first the answers were pretty much like, oh, I'd have to say red, like, for favorite color, but then the more you talk and the more that you ask her questions about her, the longer the answers get, and the more information she gives.
Definitely going from the very surface level getting to know you to, you know, how did you learn how to wield a rapier? Like, is that your favorite weapon? What sort of combat skills do you have? And just like, definitely just wanting to know who she is, what makes her tick, and just being like, we're friends now.
I think she's definitely, like, warm into that. You've got a very personable personality. Where it's like, oh, everyone gets on with you very easily. So she's opening up more and more, talking about how, because of her frame, her father tried to teach her how to use a longsword, but it was just too bulky of a thing. Like, she couldn't swing it with the finesse needed to actually defend herself, so that's why she uses a rapier.
Understandable.
Because it's just been a thing that she's done forever.
He'll ask her, like, if she knows how to play an instrument.
Unfortunately, not. A lot of her teachings, if she can do it, it's very surface level. It's the thing of, like, it's the equivalency of handing someone an instrument and then them getting to play hot cross buns.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very basic level stuff.
He definitely kind of would be like, I think you'd be good at the violin. And just be like, if you're ever looking for a teacher, blah, 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 and just goes off on, like, the etiquette and, like, how to properly hold a violin and how her, like, her build is very nice for one, how she doesn't have to tuck her chin into her shoulder too hard, and, like, realizes that he's rambling and kind of just, with a blush, smiles and just, anyways.
Seeing Sonder getting a little flustered that they're rambling, he's just gonna ruffle their hair a bit, reaching up.
He would definitely kind of, like, push his head a little bit into your hand and give you, like, a shy but thankful smile.
I know, you were brought out of the dark not too long ago about what all's going on here, but what are your thoughts?
You can see you could see her, like, really thinking about it. There's always the old adage of an enemy is my friend. But that is not necessarily the case in Barovia. An enemy of my enemy is still my enemy, they just have a different goal.
But if that goal also includes taking out both of your enemies, we could at least rely on them for that.
No, very true.
What about you, Sonder? What are your thoughts?
You see his ears kind of go down a little bit. This place is very different, but similar at the same time to what I'm used to. Lots of secrets, lots of holding your cards close to your chest and trying to outwit each other. But this is definitely a little bit out of my wheelhouse. Just kind of, like, puts his cards, like, face down, and you can see him kind of, like, get into, like, a crisscross applesauce type seating as his tail kind of swishes behind him. This place makes me very nervous. No offense, but it reeks of death. And it's a little bit hard to keep out of my mind. Very intimidating, and I feel a bit lost on what to do, really. There's so many people that need help, but they don't want it, and they're not very open to the idea of talking to each other. It's very survival of the fittest is the best way that I can put it. It makes me a little sad to see, to be honest with you. He kind of turns to Jack. For opinion on, I guess, what our objective is, I'm at a bit of a crossroads, so to speak. I don't enjoy what the Burgermaster does to people, and I don't think it's very right to put people in stocks and to hurt them for just voicing their opinion. I don't think that's okay. That's not what makes a good leader at all. But I'm also worried that if we do take him out, somebody worse will be put in place. And Irina won't have somewhere safe to stay anymore. He kind of like rubs his hands together nervously and kind of tugs at his braid on the side of his head. My main concern is just, I guess, making sure that you're alright. And he kind of bumps shoulders with Irina. You're, our main priority, so...
And she definitely smiles at that. There's one way of putting it, where it's just like almost a guilt to it. But she smiles and looks to you, Sander, but also to you, Jack, and she goes, well, at the end of the day, this is not my town, this is not my place. I do not know the politics here, and I don't wish to put my foot into a situation that I don't fully understand it. But at the same time, it's difficult. I don't know what to do. I'd rather have a conversation with everyone so we can kind of put our brains together.
That's fair.
Sander will definitely nod at that. I wish more people were just open to talking with each other and talking their differences out. It would make things so much easier. Less mind games and just saying what you want outright and being, I guess, open would be the correct word to collaborating, figuring out what fits for everybody.
But this place isn't as kind as from where we are from. People would take openness as a weakness here, it seems.
He definitely kind of like pouts a little bit at that.
Trust me, I would love it for where we are from. Being able to just keep people with open arms. If somebody comes up for help, you can help them, not even worry about them stabbing you back in the back.
It's less that openness is a weakness, or that even anything is necessarily a weakness. It's just, at this turn of time, you have no idea whose side of the coin a person is on. And while you can talk to anyone openly, there's always a worry that your words will get somewhere to someone, taken in a different way.
So it's more about your own safety than anything else?
Oh, well, say for example, when Saya give you all my history, it left me in a very vulnerable position because I wasn't in control of what information I shared. And it's not that I would have kept anything from you, you would have learned it all eventually, but it would have been at my own time and my own pace.
You wouldn't know what she would say about you, and you were worried she might say something that you don't necessarily agree with, and that puts ideas in other people's heads about you.
Well, it's also the thing of, like, say for example, the only thing you know about this place is that it's terrible and full of vampires, right? Or at least at the time.
For the most part.
Currently, yes.
So then, this place that is terrible and full of vampires, the head vampire, the king of this place, wants me to, like, become part of his harem.
I don't think that's very nice of him.
Well, it also says
He
it's
didn't get
about
your
him.
permission at all.
Very much so. But it says things about him, it potentially says things about me. Depending on your positions, you can make assumptions on me based on that one fact. Like, a suspicious person would potentially be there like, oh, well, what did she do to make him want her? Answer, I have no clue.
And this might be a very silly question, since we kind of just got here, but is there no way to leave? Sometimes it's better to just cut your losses and look after yourself. You and your family can go somewhere else, safer.
Unfortunately not. The boundary fog is deadly. You cannot actually leave from this area. That's why I've left town. I was originally from the village that you walked through when you first got here. But it was overlooked by the castle. He could find me very easily. So I came here. And while I don't think he knows that I'm here, it's only a matter of time.
And from what I know, the only way to protect yourself from a vampire is to not allow them into your space, so they're not allowed in your house or whatever room that you're in. To carry a holy relic, I guess, something holy, and what was the other thing? Just kind of whispers to Jack as he like pulls open his notebook.
I wasn't paying attention during that conversation. My apologies.
And I'm not sure where you got Holy Relic from. It doesn't usually work.
My understanding, that was for the bones? Question mark. That, Saya said she gave to the church to make it, protective?
Oh, that was more an effect on those specific bones, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay,
they
I think I understand.
They cannot enter a building unless you have given them permission to. They cannot cross running water, so if you jump to the other side of the stream, they cannot follow. They are severely affected by sunlight, as we saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And, realistically, just don't let them bite you.
Yeah, that doesn't feel very nice.
I can speak from a first-hand experience, and she, like, reaches up to, like, rub her neck like the skin is chafing.
Sandra will definitely, like, give her a look of understanding and kind of, as well, pull his hair to his side and just show her that he got bit earlier, too. Just, it wasn't very pleasant. I was knocked out at the time, but I was told I was an inch from death, which wasn't very nice. It didn't feel very good.
I'd say the immediate difference that you would notice, Jack, because you can obviously see the two necks in comparison. Saunders looks a little bit more rough and ragged, which would make sense because it's newer, but also in the sense that it was done in a bit of a frenzy, so his are a little bit more jagged. Like, it's not a perfectly symmetrical pinprick bite that you would, like, assume from a vampire. Whereas Irina's are older, like they are healed over scars that are just, like, lighter patches on her neck, but they are also pristine, accurate, pinpoint pricks. Almost like they were done with a lot more care.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you get those? When were you bit?
I was bitten, the last time I was bitten, because I've been bitten multiple times, was actually a couple of weeks ago.
And that's the one right here?
Both of them were in the exact same place.
Fair enough.
Or at least close enough together where it is formed just one wound.
Did you punch them afterwards?
No, my brother did.
Well, at least they got something.
Because, I couldn't do anything in the moment because I was under a trance.
That's even worse.
I-
And his eyes kind of get wide as he, like, very, like, gently, like, puts a hand on her shoulder and just, like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. That's awful.
Something to take note of, though. Some of these things can pull people in trances.
And for the first time since you met her, she actually shrinks down a little bit when she kind of puts her hands together, her shoulders hunched down, and there's an awkward, shy smile on her face. Yeah, I don't remember anything about the experience. Everything I have is from second hand.
Sonder would definitely kind of, like, very gently, like, rub up and down her back as she kind of, like, shrinks in on herself. And he gives her a very, like, sad, understanding smile as he just kind of, like, he'll gently, like, hand her a cup of water. That must have been terrifying. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
It's one of the main reasons that my brother wanted to get me out of Barovia. The village, anyway. Strahd had access to our house, so...
Well, any vampires come near you and I will punch them for you. Or bite them. Give them a taste of their own medicine.
You're going to be camping in my room, Sander.
If it would make you feel more comfortable, I don't mind.
I don't expect you to do anything. I haven't let anyone in this room other than you two and Azazel. So, I think I am safe.
Sandra gives her, like, a little pat on the back and a soft smile. If you ever need anything... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She was about to say, oh, there's 2 layers of protection, because he would have to get access to the inn and then access to my room.
And I'm pretty sure nobody would let him in here. As far as I know. Anyways, they don't seem to like vampires here.
Oh no, the Martikovs are good people. They treated me well.
They are very nice. They also make very lovely food, which is also a plus. Is there any, I guess, how do I phrase this? If you are in a bit of a tussle with a vampire, is there anything that hurts them more, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because I know sometimes, Silver works on Fae and all of that jazz. Is there anything that vampires distinctly don't like other than sunlight?
I am no expert. You would have to ask my brother about this. He knows a lot more than I do. But from what I remember, magic seems to affect them just as well as anything else. It's not that they are resistant to it. And then, I think, in fairness, it's not that they're resistant to too much, it's that they're able to regenerate their skin.
So that's what was happening, and his eyes go wide. Is there a way to stop? I mean, you just said you weren't an expert, but is there a way to stop this so we can get them to stop healing so it'd be easier to take them down?
Well, I'm assuming that because they're weak to sunlight, anything, heat, fire, holy magic, potentially.
Fire typically works on a lot of things.
I think that's the one type of magic that I'm not very well versed in. Is he's kind of like got a hand, like a finger to his lips as he's like thinking as I go through my spell book.
It's kind of hard to regenerate something that's constantly burning.
You do make a very good point.
I'll say at this point, Saya, you'll be coming back. Obviously, if you would rather just go to your room and be on your own, that is completely fair. It's just more for timing-wise. You would be back now if you wanted to go interact with people.
I think she's going to go straight into the bathroom to wash the cape immediately.
That's fair enough.
But if she's walking by everyone, they'll see her.
Technically, no. Just because where the stairs are, Irina is at the completely opposite end of the hallway, so no one would see you come in.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll like run up and go into the bathroom and just start trying to like get water and stuff and get to scrubbing.
Easy enough done. In that case, then we'll also say, for the sake of time, that Saya, you do manage to get the majority of the staining away, but the basin that you're using is now completely flooded with red and brown liquid.
Oh boy.
Took a lot
Gonna
of scrubbing.
stand there and she's gonna stand there and just kind of stare into the water. Her eyes are wide. Her hands are shaking. Yeah, at the moment she's paralyzed. She didn't think that was gonna happen at all. Okay, so for the moment, she's gonna run down and go over to
Danica?
yeah, Annika.
Danica.
Was it Danica?
Yeah, there you go.
She runs down to her, and she just kind of goes up to her and goes, she goes, "I'm sorry to disturb you at this time." Or
She kind of chuckles at that and just goes, "My dear, for a tavern the night is still young. What can I get for you?"
do you know of any remedies to clean? I got into a little bit of an accident and I was washing up and there's blood everywhere in the tub. How do I get it out?
You wait down here.
Is there a remedy?
You left it in the bathroom?
Yes.
No worries. I can deal with that for you. Just let me get my husband so he can stand at the bar, and I will head up and sort it out for you.
I can if you just tell me how to do it, I can do it. I don't mind.
If you're sure. But I'm telling you, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, no, I can do it. I can. You're so busy. Why should I take you away from the tavern? And she just kind of folds her hands and she's trying to get them to stop, and she just puts them down in front of her.
There's definitely a moment of her looking at you, Saya, and it's been a while since you've seen this particular look, but you recognize it immediately. It's the look of a mum who knows something's wrong, but they're not going to push it. And she just goes into the back and comes back with a cleaning rag and a couple of things that smell like strong, like baking powder and what looks like vinegar. And she starts going through the process of how to bleach out certain stains, how to rinse away, and then once the basin is empty again and it's just like rimmed with whatever, how to use the cleaning rag and the vinegar to get rid of the staining. She's pretty thorough with it, in fairness.
She notes it all down and remembers how she described it so she can go back up and take care of it herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of gives her a nod with a silent thank you before she runs off.
You definitely feel eyes on the back of your head, Saya, as at the very least Danica is watching you run out. There's probably other bar patrons that heard you talking or saw you run in and then immediately run back out again.
Oh, I'm sure. Be like, what's Saya up to? Nothing good. Yep, so when she gets in, she's gonna do that.
Yeah? In that case, then, I'll say that Aurora and Queenie, because it isn't that far of a walk from the Burgomaster's house to the inn. You get back, and I'm assuming that you head upstairs to the rooms rather than going, like, into the tavern itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you'd find Sonda, Jack, and Irina playing cards. They give you a wave, and while heading back to your rooms to get changed, put on whatever you like for the evening, you can see Saya like scrubbing away at this cloak of hers.
Fair. Aurora, for her part, doesn't really have much to change into, because she's already technically... Her comfy clothes are her nice clothes. Though she would go to help Queenie out of her dress.
Thank you. But you're saying that we see Saya clean or we don't?
You do.
Okay. I see that Aurora is about to help me get out of my dress. And I just turn to face you, and I just, nice smile on my face, just shake my head. Give me a couple of minutes. And I'm gonna go over to Saya. I don't know if Saya clocks me because she's too busy, like, focused on trying to clean or whatever.
She doesn't notice. She's right into it.
Okay. Saya? Saya, I'm just gonna put a hand on your shoulder. Just so you know I'm here and so it doesn't spook you, okay? And she will do that. Just very tentatively, very gently, just put a hand on her shoulder. And kind of, if she's... I'm not being clear here, and I'm trying to be. If Saya is facing, like, straight onto the basin, Queenie is basically standing to one side of her. Trying to think of... Is it perpendicular? Because it's not parallel, it's the other one.
Yeah, perpendicular.
Perpendicular.
Yeah, so it's perpendicular. Ooh, big words. So hands on the shoulder, so I'm looking at Saya in the face. And I gently put my other hand just over hers. Just to try to, like, kind of gently just make her stop for a second.
And she's...
Queenie's seen this face before in the face of the children that come into the full house. And it is full of fear and, like, maybe a little bit of shame.
Mm-hmm.
And Queenie's always been there for the kids in that regard, so Queenie recognizes this straight off. So one hand on the shoulder, one hand on your hands. You can rest. I can take care of this. And you can go rest, get something to eat. And when you've eaten, or after you've rested, whichever one you want to do, we can talk. But sweetie, you have to stop.
She'll kind of adjust her movement slightly, and her hand will, like, clench the rag that she's holding and then drop it.
As soon as you drop it, Queenie just, like, swoops you into a hug. Because she's scared that you're gonna buckle.
As she hugs Queenie, she's just kind of puts her head on her shoulder and she just goes, "I've made a terrible mistake."
Just very, again, motherly. Is just like rubbing your back. Just like, do you want to talk to me about it? Should we go talk about it?
And she'll nod.
Okay. And I'm gonna leave everything in the sink how it was left, and I'm just gonna grab Saya's hand. I'm gonna look at Jack with a knowing look of like, I've got this. Keep everybody here.
Well, Jack's nowhere near.
Oh, I thought we were all in the same room.
No.
Oh, okay. Are we just in Saya's room?
You right now are in, like, the bathroom, so it's where you can bathe, but also where you can wash your clothes.
Okay. So, is there a lock on this door or something to lock the door with?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so I go over and I lock the door. And I make sure that there's nobody else in this room except for Sarah and myself.
At which point Aurora will probably go back and join Jack and everyone.
You're back so soon.
Yes, he wasn't in the mood for company. Unfortunately. But we did learn at least a few things. So whichever way this goes, we have some information at least.
Fair enough. What'd you learn?
It just kind of glances back towards where, like, Queenie was. Like, oh, I was gonna say it when we were both here, but...
He will likely be up patrolling, starting at the town square at dawn. It's not much, but we know where to find him and when.
That's good, at least. We have a time and a place. We just need to decide, I guess, tonight, before we head to bed, what our plan is, I guess. What we settle on.
Agreed.
Motions at the table.
May I join?
The game.
As well.
I don't see why not.
We're teaming up against Jack because we know he has.
I haven't been cheating this round.
I don't believe you.
It's fair.
Plus, I'm still not great, so, I've been asking Irina for help. And just kind of like a small blush on his cheeks as he looks down at his hands.
Well, I have no experience really with cheating, so...
As long as Jack is telling the truth and just kind of playfully glares, then I don't think you have anything to worry about. But keep an eye on him. Make sure his sleeves are empty.
Jack's just gonna stand up, take his jacket off, so he's just wearing a short sleeve underneath. Better.
That's a lot better, thank you.
We'll leave the conversation at the poker table there for now. And we go back to the washroom.
So, making sure it's clear, nobody else is in here. Is it just us two?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay. What happened?
Saya turns, like, she'll move and she'll turn and look down at the bloody water. And she'll stare for a minute.
In that case, then I will start cleaning slowly. So what happened?
I went back to the burgomaster's house to find the chained prisoner. And I fully intended on setting him free because he didn't belong there. He did nothing wrong. I talked to him. His name is Udo.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he was the shoemaker of the town. He'd been captured for a couple days. DM confirm.
Yeah,
Was it 2
couple of
days?
Well, he didn't say anything because you didn't tell him when the last festival was.
Right, okay. He'd been captured for a little while. 2 days, maybe more. I don't know. And he was captured because he was protesting against the burgomaster. He didn't like how the festivals were always being held. I wanted to find the key to set him free, but I knew I shouldn't have been there in the first place. I didn't even know you and Aurora were gonna be there. And I remember Azazel and Jack said not to go back, and I've always kind of done things on my own, so figured I could get this done. As I was trying to set him free, I was trying to break the locks and unlock it, to lockpick them, and my short sword missed the lock. It went right into his shoulder. I killed him, Queenie. But I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to, and I tried to run a medicine check. But I'm not good at it. I don't
It's okay.
I'm not like Aurora. I'm not like her sister. I don't know how to do any of that, and I tried. So I tried to take my cape and put it around him, and I just couldn't, and he died.
I leave the stuff in the sink, and again, I hold her and hug her close, and it's a bit of a tighter hug, and it's to try to trigger like the response in the brain of like the pressure calms your internal system. I don't know what it's called, but I know it's a thing.
She's shaking.
Huh?
She's shaking.
Yeah. I think it's to like suppress like I think it's your adrenal system or something like that. It's supposed to suppress, so it helps you like feel calm after a while to feel the pressure on you, kind of like a weighted blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to like soothe over like that anxiety and that fear kind of thing. So she's just holding you. To you, it's probably like a little bit too tight, but like she's holding you tight, and it's like, it's okay. You tried to do a beautiful thing, a selfless thing, and you did your best. None of this is your fault. And you have to know that this is not your fault. You tried. And what you most likely did is put a very tortured man out of his misery. You did nothing wrong. You did everything you could. You have done nothing wrong.
I'm not a bad person.
You are not.
I. And she looks down again. Oh, blood is everywhere, and I just wanted to set him free so that he could get better. He could go back to his little shop, and his name. I
Saya,
I felt like maybe I knew his name, but I don't, and now it's too late.
Saya, you have done nothing wrong. You have done nothing wrong. And you are safe. Udo is now out of pain. He is now free. You have done nothing wrong. This is not your fault. You did not place him there.
He said the Burger Master's pure evil. He didn't like him.
He does seem very deficient.
She will go into she'll go to look at her cape once more, and she'll just clench it really tightly. So sorry. I know I shouldn't have gone. I know I shouldn't have, but
The world is full of things we shouldn't have done. This was not a bad thing. This isn't something that you shouldn't have done. This isn't something that you should be feeling any negativity about. You tried to help somebody who needed help. That is so brave. And that is so strong.
and she'll just kind of cling tightly to Queenie.
She's still holding you. Is there like a lot of blood on Saya still?
In fairness, not really, because the majority of the blood was on her cloak. So now that that's been washed, you're pretty much fine.
I didn't know there was like splatters or anything on her.
Oh, the tiniest of bits that she's probably washed off while she's been washing the cloak.
Okay. Right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna finish cleaning your cape. We're going to get some food. And then if you want to, you can go to sleep. Or we can join the others and play some cards. We do have to discuss what we're doing tomorrow. If you're not up for that, that is fine. If you don't want to be alone, I can be with you tonight.
Oh. I can... We can do what you said. We can... We can discuss with the others, and I'll do my best to pull it together.
Saya, you do not have to always have it together. Nobody has it all together all the time. If you want to cry, you cry. If you want to scream, you scream. If you want to throw things or rip things apart, you can. If it makes you feel better to write a letter and burn it, you can do that. Do not feel as if you have to put up a front. We are here for each other. All of us. You can be upset and sad today. You can be more... No, that's not even right to say that you can be more tomorrow. You can be upset today. And tomorrow, you can be a little less upset. Until that upset goes away. But you do not have to pretend to have it all together, because nobody does.
I haven't heard words like that in a long time. Thank you. I believe I needed to hear it.
Just gonna give you like another squeeze. I'm here if you ever need me. And I'll always be here to listen. And definitely be here to get you some food, because you need to eat.
She'll nod and pull away and just kind of look at her and then kind of go and start helping her to clean up the rest of the mess.
And we'll very supportively, we'll like help you clean, and we'll also like keep checking in to make sure that you're okay until we get it clean. And then I guess for time's sake, we'll go to the bar, order some food, get it, and then take it back up to the room to play cards with the others to have the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright then. So, the others are waiting for you when you arrive, Queenie. Danica, when you actually went down for food, gave you a couple of plates, saying that because you had all bought rooms, you were all entitled to food. So she just kept handing you platters.
Yep, and Queenie's able to like carry them, you know, like waitress style, like kind of thing. So she's got like a lot of platters.
Oh, fully. I mean, to be fair, Danica does offer a tray, and it means that you can carry like 4 plates on that tray if you want to.
How many trays are there in total? Because it's also the thing of like I'm able to carry. What is it that people can usually carry? They can carry like what
3,
4 plates
usually.
on each arm.
Yeah.
Is it 1, 2? Yeah, maybe it is 3 then. So you can probably carry about like 6 trays in one trip. So how many trays is she like giving me of food?
Oh, like only 2. So it would be like 2 handfuls.
Okay, so I'll take those then, and I'll be like, Sia, can you get the doors?
Yep, and she'll help her out. Open the doors for her and keep them open.
I do thank Danica.
Yeah, she gives you a smile. And kind of watches you waddle up.
Oh, Queenie's walking as if like she's done this all her life. Like it's kind of like the thing of like, yep, excuse me, thank you, pardon me, coming through, and like you're able to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get into the room, put the food down. So are my cards still in one piece? Or have they got stains on them?
I'm sorry, they burned in a terrible fire accident. Just came out the window, straight onto the cards. They're all gone. Just not giving a mention to the fact that they're still using the cards to play cards.
Just kind of looks to Queenie, like, then back to Jack, then back to Queenie. They're completely fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Inside joke.
They perished terribly. It was awful.
And I trusted you! No, I see they're doing fine. Is Jack still cheating?
I wasn't cheating.
Not so far, but I can't really tell sometimes. I still get confused on which cards are better than the others.
Jack, Queen, King, Aces or Wilds.
Well, I know that, but I don't know what a flush is. Still.
Oh, crap. Okay, Queenie would know. Raise your own a blank. Is a flush Ace, King, Queen, Jack 10?
No, flushes are, if I remember correctly, it's 5 of the same suit. Yeah, so they can be any number, but it's 5 cards that are the same suit.
Oh, right, yes, there's a flush, and then there's a royal flush, which is ace, king, queen, jack, 10, isn't it?
Yes. And then a straight flush is you getting, like, say, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and they are all the same suit.
Yep.
A flush is 5 cards of the same suit, so it does not have to be consecutive. It could be 1, it could be ace, it could be 5, it could be 6, it could be king. It's just all of the same suit. A straight flush is 5 consecutive cards, so 2, 4, 5, 6, or royal straight flush is or royal flush is the highest one, so ace, king, queen, jack.
Learning cards with D.
Somebody should.
Considering your entire, like, guild is based on cards, pretty handy.
Yeah. That's research that Ray has to do, but Queenie knows.
Reference
believe that.
materials.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you, Naren.
Yup. Welcome.
Assuming there's room at the table for everyone.
Oh, yeah. Well, technically, no, but room can be made.
Sonder will happily sit on the floor.
I thought everybody was, like, sitting on the floor.
Oh, no, like, there is, like, a table in the middle of the room.
It was the one that, I'm pretty sure at least, the one that Irina used to, like, block. Or was that the dresser?
No, she's been using her dressing table as a miniature barricade. The table is a tiny little thing that is realistically no bigger than a one-person table, but you've been using it to cram around to play cards, and then as more people have come in, the table's been put on the end of the dresser to extend it out. And now, Azazel has been forced to sit in the dodgy position of technically behind the mirror. But he's rotated the mirror in such a way where it's like, okay, like, we can now all look at each other.
Get in the corner.
I will say Saya will just go and sit at the table. And we'll just kind of make a gesture to deal her in.
Jack will deal everyone in.
Food is handed out. There's been a big, a cauldron pot of stew been made. So, like, it's just here's some bowls, here's this, serve yourself, kind of thing.
Right, so as much as all this is fun, I think we've got some business to discuss.
And quickly as well, as sleep would be needed no matter what you choose.
We do this by vote.
I'm guessing this is where Azazel would say his shtick.
So for the audience at home, Asher unfortunately couldn't make it, but he made sure to leave a very long list of instructions of what Azazel would want to do. But the breakdown is essentially he believes that they should work with Lady Watcher. Yes, they will be working to help Strahd, but keep your friends close and your enemies closer. He thinks getting good on the good side of the people that are with Strahd will lift an eye of suspicion off of them and allow them to move more freely throughout the country. Trying to help the Burgomaster and Strasny, we have to admit we snuck in and found out Strasny's, in Azazel's word, fetish for Irina. and then try to get them to believe us that someone is trying to overthrow him. Get on the good side with the literal power of the realm, and that in itself will help us with our needs. But in standard Azazel fashion, he put his hands up and be like, what do I know? I'm just an idiot.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Okay.
You really expect me to believe that in this whole room of people, nobody else has a different opinion?
I mean, I already stated my opinion.
State it again.
I don't think we can team up with Strahd, even for a town. If we lose this town, we lose people who are going against Strahd as well. We don't know who else is going to be put into, I want to say council, who else is going to be leading this. So it could be someone who's more strict, more aligned with Strahd, trying to weed out the people who are against them. Granted, yes, it will raise the eye of suspicion on us. I'll give that to Azazel. But eventually that's going to leave. Eventually we're going to have to do something. I'd rather have more friends, more allies, more people who could at least reach out to who really want the same ends as we do. Or at least the same objective as we do. Maybe not the same ends.
But right now, the people here want the Burgermaster out.
A bit of a rock and a hard place situation. Sandra kind of perks up a little bit with like nervously wringing his hands. I don't like the practices of the Burgermaster at all. I think it's vile and cruel for no good reason. But I also... we don't have enough information. We have a couple candidates that could be put as the Burgermaster instead of the current one. But we don't know who they are, and we don't know how they align. They could be worse, kind of like Jack said. And we could lose a safer place for Irina. It's... he kind of just runs his hands down his face, very tired. There's no good option. No matter what we choose, somebody is going to get hurt.
We are never going to know all the facts of every little thing about every place that we go to, or even what we do. We're not going to know everything. We never will. What we do know, the Burgermaster is inefficient. The woman who wants to get the Burgermaster out and replace him with a council is for Strahd. The people do not like the current Burgermaster. Strasny can throw fireballs out of one hand. We need to get Irina to a safe place. We need to get out of here. Those are the things we know definitely. The beautiful thing about having a council instead of a person is that multiple people have to decide on the right course of action.
But we don't know that council.
We are never gonna know that council. But what we do know is this burgomaster is not good.
So you're willing to trade something that's not good for the chance of having something that's worse. Or something that's better.
When you play cards and you think you've got a decent hand, but you have to decide ultimately which card you're going to put down to actually finish your streak, are you worried about which one would have been the right option, even though you know you have to place a card down? And you have to sacrifice one for the other?
But we don't have to sacrifice one for the other. We can keep our hand.
And then the game never finishes.
The game still continues. We don't need to change out the Burgomaster right now. We can keep the Burgomaster in play. Stop the reshuffle. Keep this hand as is.
We can easily bow out of the game. We can choose to fold, but the game is still going to unravel. Lady Watcher told us that. We don't act, somebody else will. They will kill the Burgomaster.
Unless he changes his way, this could be a wake-up call. They try taking him out. We get someone charismatic. Someone to just talk to him. Be like, hey, this is what the people are thinking of you. And you just change what you're doing to stop another uprising. Of course, put it nicely, put it differently.
I'd wager my forge that he knows what the people think of him.
I don't think he does.
People have been protesting and speaking out about him.
But no one stood up against him.
Something
They've
we
been
would be
put in
able to do.
stocks. Sorry.
Which is something we would be able to do. Stand up against him.
I'm saying this could be the wake-up call for the Burgomaster to start changing his ways, though. To realize what he's doing is not helping this town.
Saya kind of defends upon the sentence of people have been protesting against him. And he sighs and just kind of takes in a deep breath and then looks up at everyone and goes, I'm in agreement with Azazel. We kill them both.
Mercy, kindness, forgiveness. If there's a way to speak with him, as Jack suggested, we aren't from here. That much is obvious, but that means that we are able to face him with less fear than those who do live here.
Say we do end up talking to him. We, for the festival, we go and we say, hey, we would really like to talk to you about something important. Do you think that he would listen to people that aren't from his town, that don't really know what's going on? Just say, hey, I see you have people in stocks, and that a bunch of people don't like you. Maybe you should change that. And we don't know anything. We don't have any political sway here at all. I don't think he would listen to us. There's no reason to listen to us. And if we bring out the fact, hey, people are unhappy and are going to hurt you or overthrow you, he'll ask us how we have that information. We could be implicated as well for harboring information and not giving it up right away.
The way things are standing, there are 3 options for us. We intervene, we kill the Burgomaster, and we kill Strahd. We tell Strahd and the Burgomaster about the Lady Watcher and her plans, or we do nothing and we get the hell out of here.
Way I see it, we don't tell the Burgomaster and Strasny about the coup that's going to be going down. We wait for it. And whenever it occurs, we help stop it. Strasny will see this. The Burgomaster will see this. It will give us good rapport with them. We tell them, hey, these are your people. Word in some way. Try to get him to see that what he's doing isn't the best for what he could be doing.
What if he disagrees?
He doesn't want to listen to us.
Yeah.
We did what we could. We still have someone who's against Strahd as Burgomaster. We didn't lose that.
I don't think there's any reason to talk with him. In my opinion, he's a powerful figure. In a sense, he could give us his word that he would change and not specifically do so. We go right back to square one. Capturing those that go against him.
That's the issue that comes with having power and a title. Some people are going to love you, some people are going to hate you. There are people in this town that love the Burgomaster right now. There are people in this town who hate the Burgomaster. There are people in this town who love Strahd. There are people in this town who hate Strahd.
That's why if we team up with the Burgomaster, help with the coup, we gamble on making the place a little bit better. But we risk nothing. Versus if we go with the coup, we risk the entire town. We don't know what's going on.
We're risking the town either way. These people are low on spirit, low on funds. Even downstairs. No, wait, Queenie doesn't know that. Queenie doesn't know that they're low on alcohol and they need help. These people are hurting because of what this Burgomaster is doing right now. At least, if we do decide to take the Burgomaster and Strasny out, it gives these people a new hope. And as Azazel said, if the Lady Watch does become the thing, or if it's a council, then we have more power on our side.
That power was only there until they realized what we're doing. If we have people who are against, who we know are actively against Strahd, that power's going to stay there. It might even reinforce us, especially whenever they know what we're doing. If we have to take out Strahd. Pretty much as I see it as of right now, we have two paths. One of which is an easy path now, it's going to be harder later. One that's a hard path now and then easier later.
Which is which?
Having allies, having resources later, when we might need it, versus now.
How can we guarantee we're going to have these friends and resources later?
We can't guarantee them that we'll have them now. These people could have us do the coup and then be done with us. We don't know them. And once they're in power, if they don't want anyone to realize we're done, they could also have us killed.
The way I see it is that helping Strahd now is akin to covering a festering sore with a bandage. It may help in the short term, but sooner or later you'll still have to face the injury.
That injury could be a lot worse. You could lose a limb.
That's why we treat it now. We make sure this town doesn't get infected with Strahd.
You're seeing Strahd as the infection, or like the Burgomaster as the infection.
I'm not defending his actions. I am suggesting that, along with Jack, that there may be a chance to change his actions. Mercy, kindness, forgiveness.
You can tell as she says those words again that that's something very important to her.
I think we've said our piece. We move to the vote.
What exactly have we learnt about the Burgomaster? What did you guys find out when you went in there?
Not a whole lot. Main thing that I could probably piece together is he's a little paranoid. My guess is because he has the weight of the entire city on his shoulders and doesn't want to be doing things wrong. Granted, he's also a little bit egotistical. Hence why he's taking people who are going against what he says, putting them into custody. He only wants to hear that he's right. Coup comes out, comes out. People actively trying to overthrow him. Might help break that seal, shed a little light that what he's doing ain't right. People are actively trying to kill him or dethrone him because of what he's doing. It's as good of a time as any to be able to try to get him to change his ways, so it doesn't happen again.
You might also double down. You said he was paranoid, that he already thinks that somebody is out to get him. What if this justifies his fears? What if he gets worse because of it?
That's why we need someone who's good at talking. That's going to be the crucial point. It will be pretty much the fork in the road. It might get him to double down, try to brace up defenses, could get him to change his ways.
Can be persuasive when needed. Or scarier than I look.
We don't need fear.
Mm.
Fear does not help anyone.
I agree.
Listen.
Go
for it, Jack.
People make mistakes in their past. People can grow from them. People can learn from them. He's making mistakes right now. We all know that. He ain't a good leader. Doesn't mean he can't become one.
Begging and asking somebody to change their ways doesn't always work.
I don't think he's going to. And I'm going to tell you guys something. And I just talked it over with Queenie.
Say it. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Alright, they deserve to know.
Okay.
I went back to the Burgermaster's mansion because I wanted to set free the prisoner that I stumbled upon. He was a protester. And he was captured. Irving, chained. He hadn't known how long he'd been there. Since the last festival, I guess.
When was the last festival?
Saya looks to Aurora. I don't know.
I think it was not long before we arrived in town.
DM, do we know, have we been told when the last festival was?
So the members of the original party, so Azazel, Aurora, and Saya, you would know that they were taking down the decorations for the last festival when you arrived.
Okay.
So you can assume it wasn't that long before, and you've been in Vallaki for maybe 4-5 days now.
So about a week.
Yeah.
When we got here, they were taking down the decorations of the last festival that they held. 5 days ago. That's how long he'd been chained.
So at least 5 days.
Unfortunately.
Which means the people in the stocks have also been there at least 5 days.
He was with other protesters, but I don't remember what happened to them, but unfortunately I killed him on accident. I was trying to set him free and I missed, but I personally have a sense of justice for him. And in case you're all wondering what his name was Udo. And I was told he was care of the town. And if we go and have this little talk with the Burgermaster about changing his ways and he goes back to doing what he did to this poor man, our efforts are a waste.
Let's take a vote. All in favor and just leaving. washing our hands of this. Getting out of town.
Well, hang on. We haven't heard from everybody.
Fair enough. Anyone else want to say their piece?
I purposely look towards Irina.
This entire time, she's been quiet, taking in everyone else's perspectives. As your gaze falls on her, there's a little bit of a shift in her seat. She wasn't expected to be put under the spotlight, so it's a little uncomfortable. But she does clear her throat and look around the table. I bear a sense of guilt because you are in this situation because of me. You would not be here if you hadn't asked my brother to help, or if you hadn't have happened to listen to him at all. So the fact that we are even in this predicament, you will all probably disagree with me, but in my head I feel responsible for this. For the position that we've been put in and the decision that we now have to make. In terms of what we should do, I can appreciate Azazel's point. But I know for a fact that just because we make one of Strahd's minions happy does not mean we have made Strahd happy. I think if he knew that I was here, we would be seeing him daily. And Lady Watcher would not stop him, whether we were friends with her or not, because her priority would be to him. I just have this feeling in my gut that if we let her do whatever it is she's planning to do, it won't end well for Valakian, it will not end well for us. Because I wasn't there at the dinner, so I don't know, I didn't hear her tone. But did anyone figure out whether she was even telling the truth that there was a council? Not that there's going to be a coup, but if there was actually a council, whether she was, I believe you said that she said that she was the mouthpiece of a council.
DM, didn't we incite her? It said that she was telling the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, we all incited her and we all failed.
No, you incited her on the thing of, is she planning a coup? And you got, yes, she's being truthful.
Oh.
She is planning a coup.
Okay.
And then there was another insight check and you all failed it.
Right, okay.
So it was she's hard to read. Like, it was a very generic, like, So when Irina is there, like, oh, did anyone, like, think to investigate whether there is actually a council? All of you turn up blanks. Because that isn't something that any of you did.
We keep going round and round in circles of needing more information. Do we want to go back to her again and ask her more questions?
I feel like it's a little late for that now. We already interrupted her night once.
And also, if we go asking more questions, after the last question was, are you friends with Strahd? And then we ask her, is there really a committee, or are you just trying to seize power for yourself? I think it'd be a bit too suspicious.
Didn't she mention some other houses or?
Not by name, no.
No, that's what I mean. I'm just going through my notes right now. Oh, the Burgomaster's wife is Father Lucian's sister. Is what we were trying to make the connection of.
Ah, thank you.
That's my one, I believe you call it the sticking point. It's the thing that I keep coming back to, that I kept stuck on it. I don't like that we have been told that there is a committee, but we don't actually know if that's true or not. My personal opinion is that I cannot make a decision for this group. Half of you have died under the pretense of looking after me, keeping me safe, keeping me away from Strahd. If anything, I'm a liability at this point.
Just going over notes that were made. Azazel asked who was going to lead instead of the Burgomaster, she says. And she said that there was a few old families left. Father Lucian, a committee and a group, which is her and other like-minded similar families, who don't hold as much sway as her family, but are old blood.
And if they're like-minded...
They're also support Strahd.
Anybody else want to say the two-piece before we vote? I'll take the silence as a nope. So we'll move to the vote. All in favor of just washing our hands and leaving?
Nobody puts their hand up to that.
All in favor in partaking in the coup to help the Watchers take control of the city? Town.
Azazel would put his hand up to that. Does anyone else?
Those in favor
That's fair enough.
are waiting for the coup to occur, protecting the current Burgomaster, hoping he'll change his ways.
Sandra would put his hand up to that.
Aurora as well.
Jack's gonna put his hand up.
I'm gonna be annoying and ask, can you repeat that? Because you kind of broke up on my end.
All in favor for waiting for the coup to help stop it, and hope the Burgomaster's gonna change his ways.
I think Irina would put her hand up to that. Out of the options, that's what she would most likely pick.
Sorry, I was be right backing, but she would vote with Azazel.
That's fair enough.
I think, hearing all the options, I think Queenie probably would have put her hand up for the first one of just getting the hell out of town.
Fair enough.
So technically the majority is with staying
With
to
staying.
help the coup.
Yeah. To stop the coup.
Yeah, Aurora shoots Azazel kind of like an apologetic look.
Oh, Azazel just shrugs and goes, fine, fine. As I said, I'll go with whatever you want to do. Because I am a team player.
He's such an asshole.
Yeah, he is.
Alrighty.
So what's the plan? We go to the town square and just see what happens?
Pretty much. We all go to the town square. Keep eyes on not only the Burgermaster, but what's around the Burgermaster. Try to keep as close as we can.
She wanted us to take out Strasny.
We need to keep Strasny there as well, and we need the second group to be with Strasny. Because
Wait,
she wanted
so-
us to take out Strasny if we didn't do it.
We're
most
splitting
like-
up then.
Well, hopefully we keep them all in the center of town, town square. If we can keep them together, even better.
Strasny's gonna be up before dawn tomorrow, and he's gonna start at the town center.
We be up and we go with. Or at least some of us go with.
He knows that 2 traveling Sunites tried to call on him tonight, and the maid has probably also potentially told him that she's told them where he'll be tomorrow. So it probably might be best for the traveling Sunites to meet Strasny tomorrow.
That's fair.
If that is how you introduced yourself at the door, I would be prepared for either a complete dismissal or quite a brusque response, because he will not know what a Sunite is.
He was also offered drinks and pleasant company for the evening.
And you are
When-
brave.
When we do notice the coup happening, do we...
We
I
have
don't
to
know.
stop.
If do we hurt people?
Only the people who are trying to hurt others.
I think this is more a heads up than it is as protecting anybody, or fighting anybody, or defending anybody.
I figured this was going to be more actively defending them.
What if they don't listen?
Then we've done our
tried.
part.
We've done our part then, and we leave.
As much as it hurts, and as much as I hate to say it, we can't save everybody. In a perfect world, this wouldn't be happening. In a perfect world, there would be no vampire lords trying to steal women away. There would be no backstabbing and murdering and plotting. But that's not where we are. And as much as I hate to say it, we have to look after our own.
Realistically, we only really have 2 jobs. 1 is to get Irina to safety, and 2 is to get ourselves out of Barovia. We've decided to add this and make it a 3rd.
It's
We technically had a 4th job. Not so much with you guys, but when we first got here, they told us about their shortage on liquor.
We were supposed to do that a few days ago. after we retrieved the bones.
Well, it's something we can handle after tomorrow, I guess. Or whenever we're leaving town. I'm not sure what all that's going to entail.
It would take us about a day outside of town, if I recall correctly.
Do you know where we would be going to get the extra liquor supplies? Because if it's already on the way.
I think it was meant to be. I recall all I recall really was that we were going to be leaving town, and that it was a debate at the time because of leaving town.
Either way. Everyone be prepared for a fight tomorrow?
So we are actively going to defend them.
Yes. I was planning on it. They're actively trying to get them out.
Well, in that case, then, do we want to tell the Lady Watcher that we're declining?
Yes, we should send them a message saying that we're not going to be assisting them.
Or is it in our best interest to say that we are, and that way then she thinks that we're going to take out Strahd, and then we don't? Which again foils our plan.
I see that being beneficial, but it's also if we could get Strahd to play along.
So again, we have three options. We tell her no, we tell her yes, but really mean no, and we don't send her anything at all.
If we don't send her anything, she's already going to know something's up.
Mm-hmm.
So it leaves either a no or a yes.
Again, we don't know what kind of power she yields. We could be literally throwing ourselves to the lions.
If we send a no, they're going to want to send a group to take out Strahd. They were wanting Strahd out.
And we don't know what kind of power they wield.
No, but we know their forces would be divided then. So what we could do is, if we send a no, they'll probably send a force to take out Strahd. We all go help in the morning. The two Sunats nudges Queenie a little bit. We'll go meet them. Everyone else just stay back, just act like we're out in the morning taking a walk or whatnot. And if something occurs, we defend Strahd. They'll
So
know
we're
by
sending
then.
her no.
This is my thought process. If we go with a yes, and we don't take out Strahd, then it's gonna be one. It probably could be one big fight. Their full force against our full force.
So we're deciding to send her something, we just don't know if it's a yes or a no.
Pretty much.
If we say no, then we know that she's going to go after Strasny. If we say yes, we don't know where she's going to put her troops.
Most likely, for a coup, for something like this, to ensure that you're going to be in power, you want to make sure the masses know. Ideally, will be in the center of town during the festival, possibly whenever they were going to be doing something. Either
He
send
said the
off
coup was taking
fireworks.
place at midday.
When those in the stocks were to be beaten.
Which is midday.
Then, ideally, we plan to protect Strasny until midday. Make sure he's in the center of town. Small force comes to take out Strasny, we take them out. It's one group of people we need to worry about midday.
Perhaps it might not be a group, though. If the intention is to make an example of Strasny while protecting, under the guise of protecting those who are going to be beaten, why would you risk a large force and many swords that might harm those people by accident?
There are always innocent bystanders in war.
Yes, but she said that, or she seemed to imply that her goal was to protect these people. So, what if instead of a force, it would be a single assassin?
Then it's still one less assassin that we have to worry about during the actual scuffle.
It's simply an idea. Right now, the planning we're making is assuming for an entire force. When there's possibly a chance.
I understand what you're saying now. Well, if it is an assassin, I know we got someone who can heal up wounds.
I mean, I can heal wounds, but I don't think I can heal an arrow to the head.
If we do separate tomorrow, it might be a good idea to perhaps search for vantage points, places that might be used.
Banking on if it's going to be an assassin and not a force.
Preparing for both would be a good idea.
So are we sending her no, or are we sending her yes?
I personally think we should send her no.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay.
I would agree.
Okay. He wants to go tell Larnak no. I would imagine Aziz will probably put his hand up to that and go and tell him.
He'd just be like, fuck you!
But I think Azazel would also be there like, well, didn't she say something along the lines of he'll find us in the morning?
One second.
I thought it was we were gonna send her a letter via him.
Yeah, we said we'll discuss and send her a message.
Okay, so tonight you are relaxing, quote unquote, as much as you can, with the idea being that you make preparations for the morning. Is there anything anyone is doing specifically?
Yes. Jack would like to see Irina's armor.
Easy enough done. She's actually, to be fair, wearing it.
I need it off of her.
Oh. There's a bit of a moment of like a blush. Not entirely sure what you're asking.
Not anything like that. I'm fairly into the arcane. I put into my works quite like a king. I do a little bit of armoring myself, and want to make it a little bit better, especially if you're going to be there with us tomorrow. Irina is coming with us tomorrow, right? Or is Irina going to stay here?
Well, does she want to come with us? He looks at her like, I'm not gonna let anybody speak for you again, so you better speak up.
She kind of looks around the room, she's like, well, if there is going to be a fight, I would want to help.
Just gestures towards Irina. Well, I think that's your answer.
Fantastic. So I want to make sure this can be a bit better for you.
Alright. And she, quite sheepishly begins to just, like, take off her armor. And she's fully dressed underneath it. It's not like she's doing anything, but it's the idea of, like, I'm undressing in front of everyone.
Oh, he would definitely turn around to, like, give her any sense of privacy. Like, as soon as she agrees to, like, take off the armor, he'd just very, like, nonchalantly, like, sit down on the floor and take out his book and just get her for some privacy.
I grab one of the screens or the floor divider thingies that you can get. Just
for that. Again, like, as I said, it's the thing, it's not that she's showing anything, because she's fully dressed underneath it, because it is just a breastplate, but it's the idea of like, oh, okay, we're doing this now.
I mean, Aurora would offer to, like, help her out of it. Like, do you need help with the buckles and the straps and...
Even just for the sense that it'll be a quicker experience. But she gives you a grateful smile.
She'll help her. Like, very kind, very, like, gentle about how she's doing it and everything, but obviously, you know, like, respectful and... Yeah, helps her get it off.
But she is wearing a metal breastplate, D.
Alrighty. I'm going to be sacrificing my goggles of night, and I'm going to be using enhanced defense on their breastplate to give them +1 to their AC.
Okay.
Queenie would talk to you while, like, as you're about to take the armor and do stuff. Do you forget I'm able to give armor or a weapon, like, an additional help?
Fantastic. You can use that for yourself or for someone else.
What about so you don't have to sacrifice your goggles?
I can always remake my goggles.
Okay.
Just a few simple runes. It's alright. Nothing insane.
Do you need help with doing this armor?
I got it. If you want to be doing other things, feel free.
What have we turned ourselves into?
Well, to be fair, we didn't get ourselves into this mess. We were going down on our job, doing what we were supposed to be doing, and this mist rolled in, and now we're here.
The paperwork's gonna suck again, isn't it?
I just hope that much time doesn't pass again. That would suck.
That was an oversight. That was a massive oversight.
They honestly probably think that we died again.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the last time we went on a mission, we were gone for a lot longer than expected. Our guild actually thought something bad had happened to us. Which meant when we got back, it was a lot of paperwork to get us reinstated into the guild.
If I remember correctly, it was 2.5 months in the Feywild, and then tracking back to the guild. It took us 2.5 months to get there.
Yes, that's how long we spent in the Feywild, but for the outside world, we were in there for a lot longer than 2.5 months.
A couple years, if I recall correctly, like 5.
Yep.
Time is very strange.
Yeah, my moms were not impressed. And the paperwork was a bitch.
You were in the Feywild for 2 months, but the equivalent of that is 5 years?
Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff.
It kind of depends. Feywild time technically moves a lot slower, I think is the way to put it. So, a month in the Feywild can be 15 years on the material plane. It kind of depends on how it's feeling at the moment.
That is mind-boggling.
Short end of the stick, the Feywild is alive.
Alive?
It's alive.
There are lots of interesting creatures in the Feywild that you never see really on the material plane. They're very interesting, and the way the land works, and he'll just kind of like word vomit until somebody shuts him up.
No, I let you word vomit, and I imagine like you go to talk to Sarah a bit more, because I'm gonna carry on talking to Jack. So not only are we splitting up, we're also potentially putting ourselves at risk.
We don't have to split up.
So we're all gonna keep eyes on Strahd tomorrow then?
Get close at midday, where we all go to the center of the town, hopefully bring Strahd with us. If he's not already going to be there.
I'm so sorry. Do you keep breaking up?
If he's not going to be there, we all going to be we can all go together, protect Strasny until the middle, closer to midday, where we hopefully be all in the center of town to help protect the Burgermaster.
Her first order of business is going to be to take out Strasny.
That's why we're going to be protecting Strasny first. We know
So
midday is when we're going to
everybody-
be acting for the Burgermaster.
So everybody is going to be with Strasny essentially all day. And then as it gets closer to midday, we're all going to also be at the Burgermaster's.
Center of town, yes. Ideally.
Okay. Which one's going to be better than to have more defense or to be able to hit more?
Depends what we're going against, which we don't know. So it's kind of a toss of a coin.
I have to make the choice in the morning whether I'm going to be harder to hit or hit harder.
If we're going against people who can do magic like Strasny, who he's going to be on our side, it'd be better to hit harder. If we're going against people who are just armed with swords and bows and all that jazz, I feel like it'd be better to not get hit.
So it's better to play it safe and be harder to hit.
It's most likely what we're going to be running into, ideally, but it's up to you. Keeping you up and alive is a bit more important.
You know, you need to stay alive too.
That's what I got King for. And you, Saunders.
Sonder will hear his name and just kind of like perk up. I've been rambling again. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I really hope we all stay alive.
So do I.
I did not mean for you to overhear that.
Yeah, I just assumed Aurora hasn't particularly moved or anything.
And we're all still in the same room around a small table.
Yeah.
I thought people had moved around. My bad.
I mean, we're not dealing with vampires this time.
True.
We're just dealing with regular people. With
Who may or may not have
regular people
magic.
problems. And not, bite you until you die problems.
Well, never
no,
say
that's-
never. That's how one of the kids used to solve all their problems back at the guild. He used to bite people.
I really liked him. We got along well.
Yeah, you're the only one he didn't bite.
I would be careful in case there are vampires there tomorrow. It should be midday, never mind.
I was about to say,
I was just worried that the vampires that we were running into in the coffin shop were part of their plan, but terrible to be doing that midday with them.
they would
I
step
guess
outside
we-
and immediately burn to ash.
That would be fantastic for us.
In that case, then I guess we avoid the shadows.
I apologize if I, scare anybody. If we have to fight, townsfolk might not be too enthused with, a giant wolf in the town square. So I'm saying I apologize in advance. So if anybody could apologize for me, if I can't talk, that would be lovely.
I'm on it.
Thank you.
Right, okay, if somebody does not get me out of this corset, I'm gonna rip it off.
Alright. Alright, let's get you changed.
Thank you. I guess everybody better have a good night's sleep. We're up early.
Well, good luck, everyone.
Mm-hmm. You too.
Sonder will kind of go and give people hugs if they let him. So obviously Queenie and Jack, he'll wrap up in a big hug. But he'll kind of like hold his arms out and like, is it okay if I hug you? To like everybody else.
Aurora accepts the hug.
Saya will as well.
He'll do the same for Irina and Azazel as well.
I would say, because it makes sense, that Irina would definitely accept the hug. And yeah, because you're a little bit closer as well. Yeah, she'll pull you into quite a tight hug. And then you will have to message Asher to see what he says about Azazel hugging Sonder.
Yeah.
Knowing Azazel, he would probably hug Sonder and it'd just be weird.
He gives everybody a very big good luck hug, and he kind of like hugs Saya and Irina just a little bit tighter. And just very sheepishly, well, I guess we'll see you all tomorrow.
DM, technically speaking, there's 4 beds in our room, right?
Yeah?
I go over to Saya. If you want to stay in our room tonight so you're not alone, you're more than welcome to. There is an extra bed.
Thank you. Remember, I'm an elf. I don't sleep very long. I should
Then
be
you can-
okay.
Then you can kind of sleep in here if you want to.
I'll be
King
alright.
doesn't sleep either, does he? Does King sleep?
Believe he does, technically speaking, sleep. Quotation marks.
Does he sleep or does he shut down?
He shut down.
Okay. So, I point over to King and in quotation marks go, he doesn't sleep either.
Thank you. I think I'll be alright. If
Okay.
I find I'm uncomfortable, I'll come seek out your company.
Okay. Everybody's welcome at the Full House.
Technically, we have 2 extra beds because I like to sleep on the floor. I just remembered that.
If anybody wants to stay in our room tonight because you don't feel like being alone, go for it. We have 2 extra beds, technically.
Sonder just gives a thumbs up and a smile.
Or, I mean, at that note though, Aurora would kind of give a more like kind of hesitant look towards Azazel.
It's like, do you stay with me again tonight?
If that's what you want, sure.
And she'll like look back at Saunders.
Be all right then. Thank you.
He gives you a smile and a nod.
On that note, Saya is gonna go up to back to the basin bathroom to get her cloak, which is probably still wet and needs
No,
to
we
be dried
cleaned
off.
it.
Well, yeah, but if you just cleaned it, it's still gonna be wet.
It's not dry.
We're wearing it out a few times.
Did we?
Wringing it out a few times means it's not sopping wet. It's probably still damp, you goober.
Either way, it just has to be hung up for the next day to be ready for battle.
Sure, to set it up in front of like the fire in your room or something then.
Are we allowed
it's
fires in
clean.
the room?
I don't know, do we have fireplaces in our room?
Yeah, there's like wood burners in the room. So you can definitely huddle in
Awesome.
front of that.
Done deal.
Ah, Muppets, the lot of you.
And you love us.
Jack will wait to be the last one out of the room, still working on the armor.
Mm-hmm.
So you joining us? We have one less bed. You'd be the only one sleeping alone right now.
There's like she widens her eyes a little bit. She obviously wasn't expecting the invitation. And you see her thinking about it.
Like we said, everyone's welcome at the full house.
Now that we know you're part of this group, you're part of this group, like it or not.
So there's a little bit of a snort. Like, it's not quite a chuckle, but it's humorous.
We could put King in front of the door as a barricade.
She half jokingly is just there like, well, if you are that desperate for my company.
Hey, if you like sleeping alone, you can get more comfortable in here. That's alright. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be forward.
There's a small little smile. It cracks. And almost sarcastically, she's like, oh no, of course not. I would never presume.
Alright. Well, he's gonna get up, hand back the armor. See how this fits? I changed none of the measurements. It should hopefully fit the exact same way.
And she starts to put it on, and you can see her, like in an appreciative way, like going over it and just being like, huh. Like, it doesn't. She's marveling at it and just being like, it feels no heavier. I don't know why. I just expected it to have some weight to it.
That's a neat thing with it. It's just a little bit of magic in there. It helps, well, repel things. Just a little bit. Trust it before, we can trust it a bit more now.
Oh, well, I do want to say, though, thank you. And although you're still there, Queenie, because you've made yourself still be there, she's very much, like, looking at Jack right now. Like, you took the time to come see me and make sure that I was alright, and I know that that's... You're going to turn around and say that that is just what good people do. And yes, that is what good people do, but I don't know how to explain it other than you have made me feel very at ease. And I wanted to thank you for that.
Anytime. Try not to say that's what good people do, or just what people should do. Just like to try my best.
But I just wanted to say that I appreciated it, and I appreciate. And it's almost you do clock this a little bit, Queenie. It's almost as if Irina realizes that there are other people in the room. As she looks up to you with a little bit of a daze, and it's like, of course, what everyone has done to make me feel welcomed, and like she starts to like trip over her words a little bit. It's just like, yes, of course.
It's fine. We're giving you the Full House experience.
Aurora gives her this like knowing smile, like I sense a crush.
Like, dude, play it cool. The girl's embarrassed.
Oh no, she didn't say that out loud. She just did that like knowing smile of like I see this.
I am going to start getting ready for bed. I will see you all in the morning.
See you in the morning.
Alright. I'm just gonna pick up his stuff and head over to bed.
And again, with your passive, Queenie, like the door is shut, and there's a little bit of a hesitation, and then you start hearing all the locks and the deadbolts like going up on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora like helps Queenie out of the corset before like returning to her room.
Thank you. You're my favorite.
You're very welcome. It would be a shame if you suffocated or if you decided to damage such a beautiful garment.
It's pretty and I hate it. Sleep well.
You as well.
Saya will have left and gone into her room, and she'll have hung up her cape for now, and before she goes to bed, she's just gonna there aren't windows in their rooms, are there? Or is there?
There are, yeah.
In that case, she's just gonna sit and look out the window.
Easy enough, though.
She's kind of missing Caleb in the moment. She's definitely mourning over Udo.
Is there anything else that anyone is specifically doing?
Aurora will pray to Suni before she falls asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And before I forget, just for the next day, I'm going to declare she's changing her spells out. Finally.
Fair enough.
I'm also gonna declare that.
Might as well declare it now while you can. Okay then. So if that is everything, and that is all people are doing, I think that's a good place to end the episode there. with plans made, systems in place. Now let's see how well it lasts.
Whoa.
With next episode, it's the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Well, that is all we have time for today. Thank you everyone so much for watching. You can catch us either here every Friday or on YouTube, where you can watch all the past VODs every Tuesday. Well, that's everything from me. A big thank you to my players, and a thank you to you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.